Back in 2008, Shinichi Hiromoto of Hell's Angels fame drew an officially published Fist of the North Star spin-off manga named The Flower of Carnage Jagi Gaiden. To this day, it is not very well received by Fist of the North Star fandom, being stuck at a 6 out of 10 score on both My Anime List and manga updates. However, this story is far better than what its online reception would have you believe. It deserves the status of a classic, and through this video I hope to get you enticed to read it. It chronicles the original Hokuto villain Jagi from his earliest years to his eventual demise, his father and son relationship with Ryuken, his feudal one-sided rivalry with the far more gifted Kenshiro, and even his love interest Anna. It tells us the story of how he became the psychotic bastard he's portrayed as in the classic Shonen Jump series in a manner that you would never expect. It pains me to use a word like subversive to describe a manga or anime, as that word has become almost as obnoxious as deconstruction among online communities. But this time I have to, because Jagi Gaiden is an honest-to-God, utterly self-aware subversion of hard work and guts equals victory shonen ideals that attempts and brilliantly succeeds to humanize an absolute monster. And best of all, not merely setting itself up as some ironic postmodern deconstruction. It doesn't execute the original follow your dreams concept of boys manga in an intentionally bad way, and then jerks itself off over how anti-tropey it is when it finally lifts the curtain. Even if it were a traditional fighting shonen success story and ended with Jagi becoming a hero, it would still be really good. The fact that it goes in a totally different direction only makes it twice as good. Jagi is confused and angered that reality does not operate fairly. He genuinely tries his best, pouring all of his blood, sweat and tears in his training, hoping to eventually come out on top. But his simple lack of talent shines through, and this shonen-style drive to become the best prevents him from realizing the good things he already has in life. His unwavering ideals are what eventually destroy him. Make no mistake, however, this series is made for adult fans of the series. While the original Fist of the North Star's shonen demographic might shock some, this one goes much further in portraying rape, self-harm, and other nasty facts of reality, as opposed to merely glorified blood and gore. It'll totally bum you out, but in a very good and clever way. What's more, Jagi is not simply a pure child corrupted by an impure world. Hiromoto acknowledges that children are not perfect little angels. Jagi often acts in a manner that is selfish, jealous, or just downright awful. But at the same time, he shows just enough care and love for those that are truly important to him that you end up rooting for him anyway, and feel his disappointment when everything turns out horrible. Hiromoto, while not a technical genius at drawing, is certainly amazing at getting across sheer expression. He's almost like a modern-day version of 70s Go Nagai, making up for lacking a huge level of anatomical skill by being a master at emotional visual storytelling through extremely inventive paneling, expressions, posing, and varying line quality. Fans of Fist of the North Star might take issue, but all I can say is, deal with it. This is basically officially published fanfiction. It does not tarnish the original in any way. And if you approach them with an open mind, the drawings might even impress you with their scratchy, gritty, dark look that is perfect for the subject matter. The characters come to life within their own twisted universe, and never does it fall into the typical manga and anime flaw of using tired, predefined, emoticon-like expressions. The only issue I have is that Hiromoto's digital coloring is pretty mediocre, but very few pages actually feature color, and it is in the black and white pages that this artist truly shines. It's also worth noting that Hiromoto is not inherently bad at coloring, but merely not very good at digital coloring in particular. His story in the anthology Neo Devilman showcases some very well done traditional coloring. Controlled chaos is the best way to describe it. As tonally out of control as the art style can feel, the drawings never become hard to read. To further elaborate on the Go Nagai comparison, the story itself echoes Devilman in a lot of ways, among with the highest highs of its pseudo-sequel, Violence Jack. Pro tip, the highest highs are not the freaking OVAs. Like Devilman, it is a cautionary tale that shows us the worst possible outcome of not following its teachings. And like Jack's prologue arc, its emotionally distressing moments manage to be far more disturbing than its blood and gore. It's not flawless. Some of its art doesn't quite succeed at what it set out to do, and its use of time skips can sometimes feel a tad clumsy. Where it fails to be a perfectly polished story, however, it succeeds at being an effective emotional journey. At only 2 volumes, the series avoids any and all filler, with every drawing and line of dialogue having a clear purpose within the narrative. As a result, every moment of the story manages to be very memorable. Not to mention, its short length gives you absolutely no excuse to not pick it up. So why are you not reading it yet? If you go in with the right mindset, I suspect that you will not regret it. It sadly lacks any online scans, and its official publisher has died, but another villain-centric Hiromoto manga, Star Wars Perfect Evil, also seems worth picking up. It also seems to feature what many would consider an objectively evil character, portrayed in a rather empathetic way. However, its publisher seems to be long dead, and there aren't any full online scans to speak of. I suspect you might find it with some really heavy eBay searching, but I can't really say much about it because I've not read it aside from maybe a few scans. This could be for the better though, as reading Jagi might just be enough of a super depressing villain backstory to last you for quite a while.